Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. I'm your host, Hailey Rowe, and I help you get clients consistently, market your standout offers, build your business foundations like your messaging, your niche, your offer, and I help you build a sustainable, profitable coaching business that works with your schedule. And I'm so excited to dive into the show. Here we go. What you're about to hear is my interview with Amy Porterfield. This was an Instagram live I did, so I just want to warn you that the audio and the editing might not be the most amazing, but if you want to see the Instagram live in raw form, it's over on my Instagram page at Hailey_Rowe. And this was such an opportunity. If you guys don't know who Amy Porterfield is, she is like the Tony Robbins of online marketing and online business. And it was such an honor to speak to somebody who I have looked up to, and her team reached out to me about her book promo, and it all happened very quickly. And I want to let you know I was very nervous for this interview. So I hope you can't tell, but the point and the reason why I'm telling you this is because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I did not reach out for this interview, but the years that I have spent interviewing people and trying to play big and not hiding and being visible online, I think led to this opportunity, because otherwise they wouldn't have found me. So I want to encourage you to play bigger, enjoy this episode, and know that if you want the free time management system I mentioned in this episode, you can get that at haileyrowe.com/time planning. All one word. And if you can't find it or you need the link directly, you can DM me on Instagram at Hailey_Rowe. But it's going to take you through my 5 reflection questions each week so you can be getting better at time management, how to create a calendar you love that's focused on the client generating activities instead of the busy work, and my system to help you overcome procrastinating, stay focused, and prioritize better. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, I'm live. I'm so excited today to bring on a special guest, Amy Porterfield, who, as you might know, is a online marketing rock star, and talk about her new book. So if you are somebody who either wants to transition into having your own business, or you have your own business and maybe it's not as amazing. Hey, Amy, welcome.
Hello. I'm so sorry I had tech issues, but here I am.
I'm so excited you are here, and it is a true honor. You are one of the very first people I found out about when I was starting my own business, and when I was unemployed from my job, starting my business, and I was like, I need help.
Oh,
and you came.
I had no idea. That's so great to hear, and I'm just so excited that I get to celebrate with you today. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for your new book. I'm so excited to talk with you about it. And one of the questions I want to kick off with is, when somebody is wanting to transition out of their 9-to-5, how do you know when is the right time to leave your day job?
Ooh, love this question. So for those of you listening right now that you're thinking, okay, I might want to leave my job. Maybe I want to start a business down the road, but how do I know if I'm ready? Like you said. And the first thing is, you got to get really honest with yourself. When you're at your job, whether it's remote or you go into an office and you look around and you think, this cannot be it. If you have those feelings of, I feel undervalued, underpaid, I'm not appreciated, sometimes I feel invisible, or maybe you're not miserable. Like for me, my last 9-to-5 job was with Tony Robbins. I had an incredible job, but I wasn't free. I wanted freedom. I wanted to work when I wanted, where I wanted, how I wanted. I had that on my heart so much that I thought, I have to figure out a way to go for it. And here's one more thing I'll add. When you're thinking about leaving your job, it's a very scary thought. Don't think about it in terms of, I have to leave tomorrow. My book might be called 2 weeks notice, but there's a plan in here to get to your 2 weeks notice. So don't freak yourself out like, I have to leave tomorrow. Let's get a plan together so when you do leave and start your own business, you're ready for it.
Yeah, and I think having a plan, even though entrepreneurship is uncertain, at least you can be certain that you are up and you have a plan and you can adapt it.
Yes.
And having those routines or those things that you can make certain for yourself as an entrepreneur initially is so important. Yes. So one of the things I also would ask you, because you did work with and for Tony Robbins, and what was one thing you learned from him? And also, I know one of his quotes is like, success without fulfillment is not success. And so
your own business was probably something really important to you to feel fulfilled. But what was something you took from that job into entrepreneurship?
You know, one of the best lessons Tony ever taught me is this idea of resourcefulness. He always used to say that it's never a lack of resources why we're not getting results. Like in my book, I give you so many resources, from video scripts to templates to cheat sheets to guides. I literally am walking you through step by step by step how to build your own business. I'll give you all the resources you need, but I need you to also believe you are resourceful, meaning have the identity that I can figure anything out. And the way you do that is you look at your track record. Oh gosh, my dog's going to be really loud. He's coming in here to say hello. Hello, Scout. I don't know. You can't really hardly see him, but he's very loud. But resourceful is a state of being. It's that anything that happens to me, I can figure out. So the way you do that is you look at your life. There's so many things that we have figured out over time that got us here today. We are capable of being resourceful. When you believe you can figure anything out, all the resources you need will come to you, and they'll be there when you need it.
Absolutely. Yes. And one of the things when you're starting a business too, and you're kind of starting from scratch, you feel like you don't have maybe any connections or you don't have the knowledge. So how do you build up your own confidence and courage to actually, start using what you have around you? And how did you start seeing those opportunities?
Okay. So the first thing is, I always say, courage over confidence. A lot of people won't quit their 9-to-5 job and start their own business because they are waiting for confidence to do so. It will never come. Confidence is something we earn. We start a track record, we start getting results, and then we're like, oh, wait, this is working. I can do more of this. Courage is, I've never done this before. I have no idea how to do it, but I want something bad enough that I'm going to take a leap of faith. We all have to start with courage. Confidence will come. So that's the first thing, because you're going to have to do it scared. I remember when I left the San Diego offices for my last 9-to-5 job, my little white car was packed with boxes from my office in the back, and I'm driving out. I did not feel confident that what I was about to do was going to work. I was terrified, so scared, but I was very clear on my why. I wanted more freedom. I wanted to bust through the glass ceiling. So the reason I wrote 2 Weeks Notice, this is the book I wish I had 14 years ago when I left my last 9-to-5 job and started my own business. It's the step-by-step guidebook. And I wrote this because I know there are people out there that want to leave behind what's no longer serving them, but they don't know how to do it. So I'm on a mission to help them realize what they need to do to make it happen.
Amazing. And when it comes to juggling, this is what I hear a lot. A lot of people are like, okay, well, I want to build my side business, but I just don't even have the time to get home from my 9-to-5 family, and there's all these things. And so they feel like they're constantly delaying the timeline and growing their business the way they want to grow. So any tips when it comes to that transition phase?
Yeah. So number one, saying I'm too busy and I don't have time is very normal. It feels like all of us don't have the time to do what we want to do. But the tough love, I'm not a really strict kind of teacher when I teach my students, but I have a little tough love that comes up once in a while. And this is the one that comes up a lot. How bad do you want it? Because we make time for things that feel like a priority to us. We always make time for the things we actually want to do. And that's just the truth. And that's sometimes hard to hear when someone's like, but I don't have time, I don't have time. What I don't think you have is a strong enough why. So when I was leaving my last 9-to-5 job, when I got really clear that I wanted freedom over comfort, I was willing to get uncomfortable because I wanted to call the shots. I wanted to be the boss. My why was that much bigger than my worries and fears. So when my worries knock me down, and I'm a worrier by nature, what if this doesn't work? What if I look like a failure? What will my friends think? When all the worries started coming up, my why would pick me back up and push me back out. So it's not that, sure, you don't have enough time. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to move things around. But I promise you, when this becomes a priority, when you are very serious that I'm going to leave this job, Amy, I'm going to give myself 6 months. I'm going to use your book to get a runway. I teach people how to quit their jobs with a runway. And then I'm going to leave. Then you're going to find the time. And one more quick tip. Tiger time. So I talk about this concept in my book called Tiger Time, where you start to put pockets of time on the calendar. Maybe it's weekends, nights, when you have a little extra time outside of your 9-to-5 job, and you are fierce about that time, like a tiger with her mama or with her cubs. That mom is not letting anyone in. You're not letting anyone into that time. And that's the time you work on your business. So you have to communicate it with your partner or your kids or whatever, like mama's working for the next hour. And you're very intentional of what you're working on. You're working on building your business. So a lot of times adding some tiger time to that calendar makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Absolutely. And speaking of time batching, I put my time management system in my bio, and today was one of the days where it was like windows of time. And I was like, okay, this is how it's going to go.
Yes.
It's like of your day. So I love these tips, and mission has to be greater than your doubts, as you're saying here.
Yeah.
A lot of it's to, you are decisive, deliberate, and intentional and resourceful, like all these things driving your actions in your business, which sounds very important. But now, what about the plan? So for all the people who are like, yeah, that sounds great. I have a great mindset. I'm really excited about my business. But Amy, tell me a little bit more about your plan in your book.
Okay. Love this question. So I'm a planner by nature, and I need a step-by-step for whatever I'm going to do. So in the book, after we get the first part is about how to get the courage to leave your 9-to-5 job. But some people watching right now, they've already done that. So the meat of the book, the bulk of it, is how to get an online business up and running from scratch, from your website to your content. There's a big chapter about content. I create tons of content in my business. I'm going to teach you how to create it, plan it, schedule it, get it out there, where to post it. We're going to have a big conversation around content. So website, social media, content, email list building, how to create an offer, what to charge for it, how to make money now. So there's a chapter in this book of how to make money, and I'll show you step by step so you can do it quickly. So there's a lot of planning your future in this book.
Love that. Yes. So some people are commenting in the comments, your book is called 2 Weeks Notice.
Yeah.
And you are somebody who wants to shift into your own business. How do you stay focused on the process and be patient with the results instead of just always being like, okay, it's been X amount of time and I want to hit goals. And maybe how do you pick up and to adapt your plan, or when it's just you need to wait more and be more patient?
I love this question, because one of the things that I've realized over the years is I set these expectations based on like goals. Sometimes I'm pulling out of thin air. And then when it doesn't happen fast enough, I think there's something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not doing the right things. 14 years into my business, and I still have those negative thoughts that pop up. And what I've realized over the years is setting unrealistic expectations can really slow me down. So if you think the success should have happened already, who says? Who says it's not going to take a few extra months? Who says that you're not going to need this one opportunity that's on its way to actually help you break through? I have this motto: what's meant for me will find me. And that's a hard one for me, because I am like an Enneagram 3. I go, 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 and I make my destiny. But at the end of the day, I am not magic. I can't make everything that I want to happen. So what's meant for me will find me. So if you're at a season of your life right now that you've been plowing away at your business, you've been working on this, or you've been putting a plan together, and it's still not working, do not give up. Keep going. You have no idea how close you actually are. Have you ever seen those cartoons where someone's digging to find gold, and the gold is like right there, and they stop and you can see the gold on the other side of the dirt? Like, it could be right there. Keep going. That is my motto.
I love it. Yes. I always talk about how it's like planting seeds. You don't see the harvest yet, but no, it all comes back to you. And one mantra that's been good for me is like, it's all going to, it might not come back to me in the way I thought it was going to come back to me, but it will in some way, shape, or form. And that's just a belief that it serves me to believe it. Who knows if it's actually true, but
I love that.
So when it comes to this journey you've been on, is there anything you wish people would know about entrepreneurship, or something that really surprised you on this journey?
Yes. So one of the things I believe now is that even my worst day as an entrepreneur. So in the book, I tell the story that I did not want to tell, where I almost lost my multi-million-dollar business. I literally almost lost the whole thing based on a decision out of not feeling worthy enough. And so it went over for like a year's time. I tell the whole story. But what I realized, that was the worst time in my life. But the worst time as an entrepreneur is still better than the best time as a full-time employee. And the reason for that is you are free. Even when things don't work out as an employee, at the end of the day, you are calling the shots. You are deciding how much money you make. You are free to be as creative as you want. You are building a lifestyle by your own design. Those are things that don't necessarily happen in a 9-to-5 job. So even when it gets hard, it's still better than having to be in a 9-to-5 job. And I want people to really hear that. I also didn't know that this world of online business existed just 15 years ago. It was brand new to me back then. And so I'm hoping that 2 weeks notice gets into the hands of people who need it, that I really get to introduce them to a whole different kind of living.
Amazing. Yes, I love that. And I think the world of entrepreneurship, it's become easier. And, you know, of course, it's not easy, but it's become more accessible to everyone with podcasts, and even what you've contributed to the industry has made a huge difference. So thank you for the work you do. And is there anything else you want people to know about your book, about what's next for you, all that good stuff?
Well, thanks for asking. So one of the things I love to do is create bonuses. So anybody who gets 2 weeks notice, you can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you buy books. Go to 2weeksnoticebook.com. So 2weeksnoticebook.com. I've got bonuses for whoever buys my book. So I'll take you way beyond the book into all the online marketing strategies that you need. So make sure to go get those bonuses. But thank you, friend, for doing this. I'm so glad we got to meet each other. I was so happy that when I heard I got to come on an IG Live with you. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And congratulations. 2 weeks notice, get the book, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful, and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.